Welcome back to the Untouchaballs podcast. Caden and Leo here. Caden, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you, Max?
I'm doing fantastic because we have UFC 308, which is finally upon us, and we have some electric fights, electric matchups to talk about, Caden. Tell us your thoughts.
Yeah, no, this should be an amazing card in Abu Dhabi. We got a little afternoon card for us fans here in the U.S. Should be an absolute great card from early prelims through the main card.
Most definitely, Caden. It's an 8 a.m. start time for us here in Colorado, which is early. However, I have no problem getting up and enjoying a nice breakfast. That should be enough to fuel me for an exciting 6 hours of fights.
Oh, it should be beautiful, yeah, especially this main card, which is stacked from top to bottom.
Now, speaking of top to bottom, let's start off first fight of the night. Caden, give us your prediction.
Yeah, the first fight of the main card we got Shara Bullet Magomedov against Armen Petrosyan, where Shara is a minus 162 favorite.
No surprise that Shara Bullet is the favorite here, Caden. This has been one of my most favorite fighters since he has entered
so good.
The UFC. Just the multi-angles of his attacks, the endurance, the cardio. In his last fight, he was up against the ropes a little bit. He had to come back and really hunt down for that finish in the later rounds. Going 5 rounds, he's shown that he's got the cardio to move forward and get a tough, gritty win. I like Shara Bullet to get a finish here, Caden. Not only a decision, but get a finish inside 5 by whatever means he feels necessary.
You know, I like Shara Bullet more in this fight. I think, yeah, he's great. Also, the U.S. should just let him fight.
Yeah, that's
just because he can only say one. He's so good.
And Michael Bisping won a championship
with one.
Yeah.
Let him fight in the U.S. We want to see him in person.
I agree 100%. It is ridiculous that Shara Bullet cannot come to the United States and really put on a show for the fans that they rightfully deserve. But hey, we'll keep watching him fight internationally and take what we can get.
And going back to him, yes. I really like him in this fight. He's shown throughout all his fights so far in the UFC that he's able to, when things get tough, still be able to prevail and end up with the victory.
Yes.
I like him definitely to get the dub in this fight.
And now let's not underestimate his opponent here. Norman's going to give him probably one of the better fights he's going to have in his career, in my opinion. Right? It's still early. Not too huge of a step up in competition, I would say, though. So that's why I expect
not only a win, but a finish.
To get the finish.
Now, though, our next fight, we got the boy Dan Ige and Leroy Murphy, where Murphy is a minus 290 favorite over Dan Ige.
50K Ige can also one of the fighters I've admired over the years. I think it was dirty how they did him coming off such short notice with
comes back on 4 hours notice.
And to turn around and give him this fight, it's going to be a tough fight for him to win. Leroy Murphy should have the edge, especially considering how technically sound he is. And Dan Ige is a bomber. He's going to throw. He's going to leave that chin out there, Caden. And that's where I'm kind of concerned about Dan Ige absorbing too much damage. And I think it's a fair favorite line. And I'm kind of going to have to ride it with Murphy here.
I am too, even though it'd be awesome to see, Dan Ige come in. You saw, in that last fight on extremely, extremely short notice.
Yes.
He was able to stay in there last all 3 rounds and was still throwing the entire time. You could tell, obviously, he's gassed towards him.
Yes, that's hard.
He took the fight on 4 hours notice.
Of course.
Now, he's come back full training camp, and he's going to be hungry, looking for that victory. But as much as I would love to see Dan Ige win, I do think Murphy has the slight edge over him and should be able to get the win in this fight.
Yeah, and I don't think Dan Ige is going down, obviously, with how tough he is. So I expect them to duke it out. And I think it'll be a close fight, right? I'm not saying it's going to be dominant. Sure. But I do see Murphy getting the decision here.
Now, though, a fight where they're just going to be throwing blows. We got Magomed Ankalaev and Alexander Rakic, where Ankalaev is a minus 410 favorite.
Yes, Caden. Based on Rakic's last fight with Yuri Prohaska and how he was able to get finished there, kind of a little bit skepticism on the side of how durable Rakic will be. I believe he did have a fight after that, right?
I believe so. But when you look at that Yuri fight, though, you saw, even though he might have had Yuri stunned or whatever at the end of that start of the first and a little bit into the second, Yuri was still able to just go through and just start throwing the hammer blows on him and end up knocking out Rakic.
Yeah, now obviously we know what he entails. But that being said, I think Ankalaev is going to use his wrestling.
Mhm.
And I think Dana White told him he's got to put on a performance if he wants a title shot. So I think having that in mind, I think we're going to see a different Ankalaev who's more hungrier,
Yeah.
looking for a finish, looking to put on more of a show rather than we haven't seen in previous fights.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if Dana's telling him, you need to put on a show, you need to show that you're worthy of a title shot. You're gonna need to go out there looking for a finish, hunting that finish, try to get some exciting win, so that there's no way Dana can't be like, "Here's your title shot."
Exactly, 100% kid.
Yeah, Ankalaev I think should win this fight, and finish is probably more likely, especially because he's gonna be so hungry, like trying to get a big exciting win.
Yes. Speaking of hungerness, the fighter that I have also been like this, I've loved this card. This is just guys I admire, top to bottom. Kate, some of all my favorite fighters on this card, excluding like my Mexican fighters. This has got some of the guys that are up there, but Khamzat Chimaev. Finally, fingers crossed. So they're recording this episode. He hasn't made it away yet.
We're like 2 days away, so we'll see.
We'll see. But is taking on Robert the Reaper Whittaker in what's going to be an exciting matchup. Caden, tell us about it.
So as of right now, Khamzat is a -245 favorite over Whittaker,
which is ridiculous in my opinion. That's a very high line.
It does seem high, especially because Khamzat it's been so long since we've seen him in the octagon. Because every time he's about to fight, it's either an injury or he's sick or something like that happens where he's not able to fight. So it's been a long time since we've seen him in the octagon in an actual fighting scenario. But what we've seen through Khamzat's career, I mean, it was finish. I mean, that Gilbert Burns fight was a really tough fight for him.
Yes.
You saw Gilbert really starting to turn it on in that third round.
And then against Kamaru Usman too, which the fact that he was able to take Kamaru Usman down and drag him for that first round was scary because we know the kind of athlete and wrestler Kamaru Usman was. I think Khamzat is going to be more hungry than ever. If you look at the interviews, he's emotional, kid.
Yep.
He's an emotional guy, and he's going to be looking to take down Robert Whittaker and put him to work.
I do think he'll probably come out and get the victory in this fight. I'm just really excited to see his post-fight press conference again. Those are always so
I'm excited to watch the walkout, Kate, everything.
Everything with Khamzat is always just so exciting to watch, especially when you put him up against a fighter like Robert Whittaker.
Who's going to be game? He's not going to be afraid.
No, he's going to be game. They're going to be in there with just it should be a spectacular fight from start to whenever it finishes, whether it goes the distance or they're going to finish in between. The whole time, it should be exciting and exhilarating.
Caden, the only way I can describe this card is full of like gladiator fights.
Yeah.
This is like you would go to an arena to watch. You would see the Roman Coliseum filled up. And of course, the spectacle, the main event. Ilia Topuria is defending his title against Max Blessed Holloway. Which, if you guys have been following the podcast since one of our very first episodes, you'll know that Max Holloway has been one of my boys since the beginning of time.
Max Holloway is easily my favorite fighter in the entire UFC. Topuria is game. He's one of the best fighters we see in the UFC right now.
Not only that, he's violent.
And as of right now, he's a -238 favorite.
Kid, there is a reason why Topuria is this favorite. He decimated Volkanovski, made him look childish. And that is the one person that has had Max Holloway's number per se. That being said, we know styles make fights. I think that Topuria is coming in a little overconfident.
He's very
feeling himself a little bit. And Max Holloway is going to give him some humbleness.
I think it should be a great fight. They're going to be in there throwing blows.
Yes.
Max keeps saying, he's the best boxer in the UFC. He said it mid-fight to Dana before. Let's see that on display. Let's see good prime. Let's see Max Holloway like he looked in that Gaethje fight where he dominated all 5 rounds and had one of the most exciting finishes of all time. Let's see that Max Holloway. Let's see him get that 145 belt wrapped around his waist by Uncle Dana and have a great Saturday.
Caden, that's all we would need to cap off an absolutely electric morning and afternoon of UFC. But do not underestimate Topuria's power.
There's a reason he's a favorite.
And the danger of the Spaniard, Caden. That being said, top to bottom, this card is going to be electric. I know I can't wait. I know you can't wait. Any final thoughts?
Great card. This is Great work by Uncle Dana. It seems like anytime they go to Abu Dhabi, the cards are always stacked,
Yes.
and this one is no different.
Most definitely. Don't forget to look at our football episode as well as our MLB series predictions that came out last night. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you all next time.